Michigan great Braylon Edwards and, of course, Maz are about to take over on Woodward Sports. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m., it's the best Detroit sports talk on Detroit's best sports network. Woodward Sports.
Sorry about starting 1 minute almost late. My man KG in the sound booth was a little bit late.
Oh, okay. All right. That's what we doing.
We apologize for his tardiness, but you know what? We are here. It is 2 o'clock on a beautiful Friday, and we are joined. No, I'm joking. Actually, I was a little bit tardy, so ladies and gentlemen, I take the blame.
Yeah.
We're joined by the man, the myth, the legend. My man is a legendary individual in the world of media as it relates to Michigan and all over the country. Also, he is the father of a college graduate. And also, he is...
How about two?
Well, just one. You got two. It doesn't matter. All right. See, my bad.
No.
2 college
How about
graduates.
this? The father of college graduates.
Ooh, I like that. That was like...
Just put an S.
That was kind of like dodgeball, like the Global Jim Purple Cobras.
Yeah.
I like that. And then also, he is the owner of Legendary Hats. Terry Foster. What's going on, brother?
Last time I wore this hat, you made fun of it. You said Kango is not supposed to be a baseball.
Yeah.
This is true, but you know what? I wanted to keep it peaceful today.
Thank you.
So, see, I didn't say anything.
And in honor of it being the first weekend of high school,
Jerome
high
Bettis?
school, Jersey, yep.
The
Yeah.
wheels on the bus.
Yep. Go round and round.
I just saw something. I think he was in the post for Bill Cowher. He was talking about what type of coach Bill Cowher was. And obviously they worked it out. They won the Super Bowl together. I wish he would have scored, KG.
Yeah.
As I introduced my man KG. Sorry about that.
No,
brother.
you
How's
all
your day
good.
going, brother?
Yeah, it's good. You know, you trying to pin the show lateness on me, but
Hey,
besides
look, man.
that, we good.
Hey, every once in a while, I got to shift the blame.
Oh, yeah, no, I
shift
got
the
you.
blame.
I got you.
Also, we introduced my right-hand man, P. Spivak, who's wearing,
P.
as you see it,
Boom.
Bowling Green
Brown
State
it down, baby.
University Falcon merch. And the reason is
right.
we'll have some fun with college football. It started last Saturday, Georgia Tech, Florida State. But last night, I feel like it really got going. Colorado, North Dakota State. We'll talk about that. But, Pete.
Yes, sir.
Opening play of the season.
That's right.
Go ahead. I'll let you take it from there.
Opening play of the season, over 5 million views of the 100-yard kickoff return. But we all know our good friend Brian Baldinger here on the show, guys. And you know what? Last night I was just feeling it. And Terrion Stewart, the running back for Bowling Green, had a nice 73-yard run here. And I decided to do a Baldy breakdown. Here it is. There you go. I just thought I would do a little Brian Baldinger breakdown. That was the 73-yard touchdown run by Terrion Stewart, our red shirt senior running back.
Pete, you know, you did an amazing job, but I couldn't pay attention after that one line, and I'm going to need you to
Yeah. Big
Pause,
pause.
baby.
And let me say this, as fast as that brother was, if they were playing Texas, he would have been caught at the 20-yard line.
Big facts. Big facts.
She said it's different speed on that Texas team.
Yep.
Thanks for humoring me, boys.
All right, so check it out. So Bowling Green State, they get the win. You say that this could be the team
Yes.
to win the MAC. This is
Yes, sir.
maxing at its finest.
Yes, sir.
What did you see in your team last night? Like, where did they look? Where they look good? Where they look bad?
Well, you know, there's
Oh,
a lot
40s.
of Michigan blood on the sideline with Scott. A lot of Lloyd
my
Carr
offensive
blood.
coordinator.
Scott Leffler's on the sideline. There's
My OC.
Jack Harbaugh was at the game last
Moeller.
night. Nobody has it better than him. And Bowling Green has solid offensive line. They brought in some heavy, solid big boys, 6'6", 6'7" guys. Scott Leffler established the run, and that's Bowling Green is playing Big Ten football. Run, and we have a good, solid quarterback in Connor Bazelak.
Well, I got a double question for Braylon.
Okay.
Did you ever play against Bowling Green? And the second question is, what would it be like to be guarded by a 5'3" cornerback?
5'3".
It's funny. I'm already licking my chops. We didn't play them, but 2 years before I got there, Bowling Green played Michigan. I think the score was something like 38-7. The only
That's
touchdown
close.
for a Big Ten MAC game, but the only person that scored a touchdown actually was somebody I grew up with, Andre Pinch. So shout out to Dre Pinch. But little DBs like that, 5'7", 5'8", or 5'10" MAC guys.
Or 5'3".
Nah, I've never seen nobody that small.
All right.
I've never seen nobody. But with that being said, it's like going to an old country buffet, or you go to a salad bar. You got all the options at your disposal. I can run the 9 route. I can run the 8 route.
buffet.
I can run the slant. I can run the post. You know what? I can just give me a zero screen. I run them over. So that was a lot of fun. You can sense the nervousness. I'm glad you bring it up. Michigan starts their season tomorrow against Fresno State.
Yes, sir.
Michigan lost that aura, if you will. You see that right there. It's 1 day till game time, baby. It's the number
can't
one
wait.
till game day. T, you agree with this? They lost that aura. Like, I remember going to see my brother in 2017. He was playing with Minnesota. I'm down in the locker room I'm just watching guys, like, looking at Michigan, like, laughing at it, like, not taking it in, pause. Like, they weren't scared to be there. Like, the aura was no longer. You see people come in here, get wins. It was no big deal. I think you'll start to see that happen again. It's now back. Fresno State, they're a decent team, but I think you see it starts off in a bad light for them. Another game last night, Colorado. Did you see it?
Yes, sir. Do you believe?
I did not. I went to a high school game last night.
Who played last night?
I went to
The Zenith Prep?
No, I saw. I didn't go to the Zenith Prep.
Okay.
I've been there the last 2 years. I do some freelance work in Livingston County. I saw Howell against Hudsonville.
Oh, Hudsonville usually has pretty good football.
Yeah, they're good. They're still
Yeah.
good.
I remember back in the day.
Highlanders took them down though.
All right, well, while you were watching the Highlanders take down Hudsonville, Deion Sanders, Shedeur Sanders, and Travis Hunter was putting on a clinic. They win the score. They win the game 31-26, the final score. Travis Hunter, 3 touchdowns. Shedeur Sanders, 4 touchdowns, I believe. I start here, KG. I take it to you. You saw the game. I bring it here. We got this excited last year, too.
We did.
We got this excited. They had the big win against Colorado State. And now They got the big win against TCU.
Yeah, it's TCU.
Yeah.
TCU and North Dakota State are 2 different programs.
100%. So, but here we are again. Everybody's excited. Shedeur, Travis, Deion. Are you gonna buy into the hype this year?
I want to. I want to bad. And I know everybody's go-to this year is, they can't run the ball and things of that nature. I was getting that Flannel Sam a little bit earlier.
Okay.
But yeah, it is what it is, man. For one thing, they can't go 4 wins again. I mean, this has been year 2 of this project with Deion.
What's an acceptable number?
They got to make a bowl game this year.
Okay.
Yeah, so
7?
at least 6 to 7 wins,
Okay.
and then we'll back off. At least me, but I just don't like the fact that people act like this is a different version of Deion. This is who he's always been. I know people are mad that he sent his whole team through a transfer portal, a 1-11 team, by the way. They mad about the little media incident where he sent the reporter out the room and things of that nature. And they do need to run the ball better. But Shedeur Sanders, let me tell you, one of the best players, if not the best player in college football right now, man. Travis Hunter had a hell of a game last night, catching some of those passes. The one catch, I don't even know how he made. The guy was literally all over him. You can't play defense any better than that. Yeah, you can't play defense any better than that. He still caught it. So I think they got a lot of good elements to this team. They do have to put it together, but I see them being a bowl team this year. I do.
I think the reason people are down on Deion Sanders, he's the same guy he was when he was 20 years old, but you kind of hope that as an older guy with a gray beard that he would mature a little bit and wouldn't, be all this, I don't know what term it is, but, be all.
Me?
No, not you.
No,
but a lot
of me guy.
Oh, yeah, you guys.
Me.
A lot of
You're
people
different than you were when you were 20.
True. A lot of
He's the
people think
same
it's
dude.
all sizzle and no steak, though, and I wouldn't say that because they do have something brewing there in Colorado. Now, is it a 10-win Colorado season? I don't know that, but to say it's all sizzle and no steak, I think that's false.
I think we don't know if they have something going on. We see all the hype.
Yeah.
We see all the the YouTube stuff and all that kind of stuff, but we really don't know.
True.
He might be, just because you talk a big game doesn't mean your team is going to play a big game.
No, that's facts. But he does need to get something done this year. I do agree with that sentiment.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think 8 wins is the standard for him. And I know I'm jumping 7. I know I'm jumping 6. Like, if you want me to buy into it, I need you to win 8 games.
Right,
I can't buy into something that I don't see. If you sneak and win 6 in a Pac-12 division that I don't even know, frankly, who's in the Pac-12, I don't know who's in that division, I'm not giving you any passes for winning 6 games in that, 7 games in that. You got one of the best players in college football in Shedeur Sanders, and you might have the best player in college football in Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
The things that he can do on both sides of the ball, like, he's a ridiculous athlete, but that understands his body at a level. He's almost like Percy Harvin in terms of the electricity. That the only thing he doesn't do is return kicks. I think he could be the best player. If you don't utilize that, you had a year. You hit the transfer portal for 2 years now with Colorado. If you can't get the 8 wins in this division, then there's nothing I can buy about you. Then I'm going to believe that the next move Shedeur makes is the next move Deion makes.
Yeah. But do you think it's a lot of people saying that he's coaching this way because he's trying to get his son into the league, which his son is going to the league regardless, just based off of the talent and everything like that. But do you think it's more so the way he's coaching is he just solely focused on his son?
Deion doesn't know how to coach.
Really?
Like let's call it a spade a spade. Deion's not a coach. Deion,
So we just disregarding Jackson State.
like, it's not about disregarding. Deion is a motivator that hired people, put them in roles to do those jobs. Like, you have a great offensive coordinator, good defensive coordinator. Some of the individuals that came to him to be coaches, he has had them since the NFL. He brought NFL coaches in. He brought some high-level college coaches in. He was at HBCU, but he didn't just have brothers on the staff. And he's some guys with some resume. You know, you look at their schedule right here, and you see how they get the 8 wins. But Deion's a motivator. It's kind of like John Calipari at Kentucky.
Yeah.
John ain't really out there coaching. He's not going X's and O's and getting those guys in position. He's putting the best talent out there, and he's letting them play. He's giving them some guidance. So I see Deion in that same light. I don't see him as a coach. I see him as a motivator and a man that understands how to put staffs together, kind of like a Dan Campbell situation.
Yeah, no, I get you. But do you take any qualms with how they won last night? A lot of people were criticizing the fact that they could have easily iced the game. They were up, and I think they took a big shot deep. They could have lost this game.
Yeah.
You know, San Diego State. They came in and gave them all they had. I got to give props to San Diego State. Do you have any qualms with how this game ended? Do you think they should have just took the knee and took it home?
Look, this is Deion's identity. If you want to coach this way, you want to win this way, look, let the man win that way. They got to win yesterday. I don't have any qualms with it. This is how they play football.
Yeah.
This is what they're doing.
But
I haven't seen you.
There's something
They've
dangerous.
never had a run game. Like, if you look at the spread last night, Pete, I know you're in the spreads.
Yes,
the
sir.
spread on the starting running back for Colorado to score a touchdown was plus 220.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like, how's the spread on the starting running back plus 220? I took some
All right,
action.
fellas, there's something dangerous that happened last night. It wasn't Deion's call to do a pass play. It was Shador. So
Oh,
Deion,
he ain't listening. She's not listening to Pops no
That-
more.
All right.
you don't have your quarterback making that decision in that position.
If he's out there like Willie Beeman in game one,
Good point.
then
Yeah, right.
they
right.
really in trouble.
Yeah.
Because if you're not going to listen to your father, then this is something that stems outside. This is something that can stem outside of the locker room or outside the football field. This could just be at the home. This could be a father and a son. So you ain't lying about that. If he's out there calling Willie Beeman plays, Colorado's going to go 3-9.
They
Yeah,
can't go.
because Shador said
3 wins
he
again.
saw cover 0. It was a layup, so he thought he could do it, but it didn't work out.
Where I come from, if you're going to do it, it's got to work.
Yeah.
Because you're going to get yelled at regardless. Or you're going to get, you're not going to get benched, but you're going to get the face mask grabbed on national TV. You better score a touchdown if you're going to do it.
Nah, big fact.
Even if you score the touchdown, they get pissed at you.
But at
Coaches.
least,
Yeah, but then they say, then you can laugh about it.
yeah,
But
you can forget about a touchdown. You can forget about a touchdown. North Dakota State, home of a couple quarterbacks in the NFL, such as Carson Wentz, Trey Lance as well. No quarterback show. I was kind of excited. I was excited to see if a quarterback was going to turn up. Another game last night, Minnesota, Pete, North Carolina.
Didn't
Did you
watch
get a chance
that.
to see that?
Yeah, I saw. Did you see how it ended?
Yeah, that's what I was interested in. Like,
I heard it was a train wreck.
I wish we had that video, man.
Let me find it. Let me find it because I think I threw it in the chat.
It's the funniest thing ever. So at stadiums, when you kick it, when you win, when the game's over, a lot of stadiums have fireworks, kind of like the Detroit Tigers do at Comerica Park. Well, they were expecting the kick to go in. T-Foss thought the kick was going in. It was set up for him. It was nice and sweet. North Carolina up by 2. Here's the field goal. It's at Minnesota Golden Gopher Field, and they missed. but
they shoot the fireworks.
and they shot the fireworks as the ball.
That's
The
hilarious.
fireworks is can you imagine being on that on that
have it here in a
Minnesota
second.
squad?
Yeah, I can't, man.
I'm like, man, great. This
I
is
didn't-
if your season starts like, mark my words, if their season is starting like that, no more than 4 wins.
Yeah.
I'm no more than 4 wins. Have you ever seen something crazy like that?
no, but maybe the Tigers shoot off fireworks whether they win or lose on
I mean,
Friday
that's
night.
that comes with the
different, though.
territory, though.
Right,
Like,
that's different.
Because they only do them every so often, and they do them. How often do they? Once a month? Once a
Yeah.
week?
Yeah, once a week, Friday, and if they play a Saturday night game.
Okay.
During the summer.
So
Okay, Bray, here we
Twice a
go.
week.
Here we go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't get a
this
chance
is
to see it,
great.
this is pure comedy. Appreciate you, Pete.
I can't believe they set off the fireworks. 47 yards. I can't believe they set off the fireworks.
Who lit the fireworks off? I want to know.
That was
Like
crazy.
who missed the cue?
Yeah.
And what was the cue?
What was the cue?
What was the cue? All right, look, when it go through, I'm gonna give you one of those.
Right.
He must have had like an itch in his head.
He was confident in that kick. As soon as the kick went up, he's already determined. I'm setting this shit off. Oh, my bad. But
So,
yeah.
Somebody told my man, as soon as the game is over, shoot those fireworks off.
He shot him off regardless. I think he shot him off and got up out of there.
Yeah.
He had to get out of there and run, but nonetheless, it does feel like college football season has started.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
excited
big
for
facts, big
tomorrow.
facts.
T-Falls, one of the big things with the way in which there are the conferences now. You know, a lot of teams have gone a lot of places. The SEC and Big Ten, powerhouse conferences. The ACC has a new revamp look. The Big 12, hell, I can't tell you 4 teams in the Big. I mean, not the Big 12. Well, the Big 12 too, as well as the Pac-12. But with this new kind of setup, you get these dream matchups, or you get these matchups that you could only create on video games back in the day. I give you an example. Oklahoma and LSU are playing this year in Death Valley. Never would I thought I would see a game. Michigan's playing Texas
Yeah.
at the Big House 1 week from tomorrow. Are there any games that you're excited to see that don't happen on a regular?
Well, I tell you what, I'm more excited about college football than I ever been.
Okay. So were
Because-
you a fan of this before now? Were you a fan of the 12 playoff?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, I just say go 16.
Just let everybody.
It's
Yeah.
eventually going to go to that.
That's not everybody. 16 is a very low percentage. But
16 is too many teams.
what's the difference between 12 and 16?
Outside, really, you only need 6 because once you get past 6, the seventh best team
All
in the country.
Here's my problem with your little stupid numbers. You're going 6 and 12 and 14. Have everybody play the first week. Don't
Right.
give people bye weeks. We don't know who the number 1 and number 2 teams are. We can guess, we can speculate, but we don't know.
So as a number 1 seed, let's just say hypothetically Georgia's number 1 this year. So number 1 Georgia under your schedule, 16 games. They got to play the 16th team in the country, who
Hey.
you know they are head and shoulders above.
Right,
So why
better.
play that game? Because the only thing that can happen in my estimation is injury.
Yep.
That's the only thing that can happen. So why are they playing the 16th best team?
Never
12
heard, you
12
never heard of an upset? They do happen.
But this ain't college basketball. Football is different.
But we, as people who like college football,
Yeah.
want to see Georgia play. I want to see them play that extra game.
Not against not against Fresno State.
The 16th ranked team. Yeah. Nah, I'm good.
16th ranked team might have 4 losses.
Right.
Nah, they ain't
They
have
might.
4, 3.
3.
They have a strong
it'll be
three.
No,
3.
at 16,
it'll
you
still be
probably got
intrigue going up until halftime.
Nah, because last year
Michigan might be 9-3 this year. You mean to tell me the 16th ranked team gonna have 3 wins? I think they'll have 4. I mean, or 3 losses. I think they'll have
last
4.
year the 11th ranked 12. Last year the 13th team had 2 losses.
Yeah.
Like last year, so 13 teams had 2 losses or less.
Okay.
So it's just gonna play out like that. If you're 16, you're sitting at probably 3.
Yeah.
'Cause there'll be the random teams like a Fresno State or West Virginia or TCU, whatever. But 16 teams is a lot. What do you think, Pete?
16 teams is a lot of teams, man.
But you like March
I'm
Madness,
a traditional, yeah, but I'm also a traditionalist, Bray.
Yeah.
This is college football. I mean, you only play 13 games.
Yeah.
I want the top 8 teams, man.
Let me ask you
Top
this,
8.
T. Last year we watched 4 teams in the playoff, correct?
Mm-hmm.
We watched Michigan, we watched Alabama, we watched Washington, and hell, I forgot the other team.
Texas was in there.
Texas. See, I
Alabama.
forgot. I forgot already. Those were the 4 best teams. Well, Georgia should have been in there, but neither here nor there. Those are the 4 best teams in the country, right? Michigan was head and shoulders better than Washington. Like, head and shoulders, and this is supposed to be the 2nd best team because they got there.
Right.
You mean to tell me they're going to play the 16th best team or the 15th best team or the 14th best team?
Well, let me throw this back in you. You remember all those years in the Super Bowl that
Yeah.
were blowouts? That just
And
happens sometimes.
College, you talking about the
In
national
the NFL.
championships?
In the
Oh.
national. So do we want to shorten the NFL playoff system? Do we just want to have 2 or 4 teams in the NFL playoffs?
The
No,
NFL
you let it play out. You don't know. You never know what's going to happen.
I just think there's a bigger discrepancy in the NFL. There's a bigger discrepancy in college in terms of who's the best team than the NFL. I think the NFL, you can have situations like the Steelers the Steelers snuck in the playoffs. The year they
Yeah.
won here in Detroit, they snuck into the playoffs. They're a wild card. They won the Super Bowl. You have look at the Joe Burrow Bengals.
Yeah, Bengals.
You
Yeah.
have situations where you see teams that barely shoot. We
Right.
got to the AFC Championship twice, and we snuck in the playoffs both times. In college, after you get past that 4th, 5th, 6th at the most team, who's better than these guys?
I'd rather have 8 then.
Okay,
I'd rather
that's
have
what I
8 than
said,
12.
yeah.
I don't think
I said 8.
you deserve a bye week.
I'm cool with that.
You play on your college campus. This is a huge advantage. Once again, we don't know who the number 1 and number 2 teams are. So if there was some formula or whatever, maybe I could live with it. But either have 8 or 16. I mean, I don't want bye weeks.
Yeah. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with making people earn it. Like, you don't get a bye because you're 1 or 2. I'm cool with making people earn it. At least if I'm playing against 8, I can understand that. That's like, all right, you know what?
Yeah.
This is a good team. This team probably could have won their conference. They're probably sitting right there, so I'm good with that. But once you start getting to 12 and 16, football is different than basketball.
Now I hear you. GW Kid in the chat said, right now, if the number 1 played 16, it would be Georgia versus Oklahoma. That's a good game. Oklahoma would have a chance.
This is
okay,
true, but that's a preseason ranking, though.
Yeah, that's
we know
too
that it's
early
not
to
true.
do that.
Yeah.
It's a
way
preseason
too early
ranking.
to do that. You got to play some games.
Preseason rankings are the best projected versions of what you expect the best teams to be.
Right.
So, of course, it's going to be a good matchup now. But once you let the season happen,
Right, that's different.
BYU might mess around and be 9-3 and be sitting at 16.
That's fact.
I don't need to see BYU versus Alabama.
Yeah.
And last year it would have been Coastal Carolina. You don't want to see Coastal Carolina.
You want to see Coastal Carolina and Michigan?
No.
Great. Now JJ McCarthy hurt his shoulder. Now we got to put Alex
I mean,
Orji
it's an
in.
easy dub
You
for
know
us,
what?
so
That
I'll
might
take
be competitive. You have Coastal Carolina and Bowling Green.
But hey,
How about that?
All right,
Bowling Green might be.
At the
I
freeway.
got Bowling Green, by the way.
Hey, thanks, Bray.
T-Foss, you know what you also are as I introduce you as a legend, father of college graduates, owner of Nice Hats. I emphasized on that.
Okay.
You also are a quiet, not so quiet Michigan hater. So,
No, wait. Let me
quiet,
clarify
not so
that.
quiet.
I'm not a Michigan hater. I don't buy all of Michigan's bullshit. How about that?
Hater.
okay, we got kids watching, but at the same time, that's another way to
Or
say
baloney.
I'm a hater. Because you glaze on the side of the attack. You glaze on the attack side. I'm
No,
just saying.
I don't attack. I call it like I said. Here's the problem with Michigan fans.
I didn't even get to my question.
Right.
If you agree with their crap,
Yeah.
75% of the time, you're a hater.
Yeah.
You got to agree
But you're not
100% of the time.
You're not 75%. You're not even.
Right.
You're not even 50. I put you right at 50.
well,
That's a hater.
no, that's not a hater. That's
That's
a
a
guy who
toss-up.
analyzes things and say, hey, this is the way I see it.
All right. Well, what do you see?
I'm not a member of the cult.
Okay. Well, what do you see from the Michigan Wolverines this season? They start the season tomorrow, like I said 4 times. Fresno State first-year coach Tom Skipper. 7:30 game. I don't know why it's a night game. I'll be up there. What is Michigan gonna do this season?
At worst, Michigan would be 9-3.
Yeah, that's
But
the safe number right now.
I think they will go 10-2. I
What?
think they
You're
will.
right.
You?
Right.
Okay, T. Foss.
The,
All
the
right.
team is still good.
Good job, T-Foss.
Man,
Last time I did Will Johnson transfer? No, he
you're
didn't.
breaking my heart, man. You're
Did,
breaking my heart. I appreciate you, man.
Yeah. I mean, it's still a good team.
Yeah.
I know Harbaugh's gone.
Yeah.
I know JJ is gone.
It's
but
do you like Sharon with the way that college football is evolving? Like we've talked about this a couple times. I want to get your take on it. With the way college football is evolving, you got to have people that are consistently recruiting. You got to have the younger energy. Sharon's a lot younger than Jim Harbaugh. Like, do you think Sharon's the guy for this job now? Or do you think he fell into it?
Well, obviously he fell into it because he was.
Fair
but
enough.
Sharon, the thing that I like about Sharon Moore is that he wants to keep the toughness at Michigan, and I think that's how Michigan has won. Yes, you had a great quarterback, and yes, but Michigan wins with toughness in the trenches, great defensive tackles, great defensive linemen, and a running game. That's how Michigan, and he wants to keep that that part of Michigan. That's the way Michigan is going to win. You're not going to go into the shotgun, and you're not going to do the pop gun or whatever. That's not what Michigan does.
Okay.
But like Rich Rodriguez tried to come in with gimmicks and stuff. It didn't work. But Sharon Moore, to his credit, is wants to keep it. Now, here's the thing that I fear. First of all, I thought I would never see a black coach, football coach at Michigan.
Facts.
And I want to see if people turn on him, people like Flannel Sam.
You know,
If they don't Michigan
It's
should
coming,
be
right?
in 12 teams, right?
Yeah.
Michigan should be in the playoffs this year.
Feels like Notre Dame when Tyrone Willingham took over. Like they hated it. He won 11 games. Next year he won 9, and he was fired before the next season.
It's crazy.
I don't think it'll be that case. I think Michigan has a little more love for Strong because the national championship speaks volumes of what he did. So there'll be a lot more rope, but not much more. Not
Yeah.
much more. Here you go. Here's a question for you, KG.
All right.
We'll stick with this to the top of the hour, and we'll get to some Detroit Tigers because tonight we talked about it's
a
going to be
big
the
night.
team that they're chasing, the team that they trail. They played tonight in the Boston Red Sox at Comerica Park. We'll get into that in the next 30. But how many teams does the Big Ten put in the field of 12, and in what order do you rank them?
Oh shit. I keep forgetting about the guys. My bad. But I think the SEC will have 4 teams. I think the Big Ten could have the potential of 4 teams, just depending on how the records shake out. Now, if we gotta go in order, of course, Ohio State, Oregon, they'll be up there. But the last 2 spots is what we talking about. I know we hate Penn State. I just being real, but they have a very, very cake schedule. So I can see Penn State sneaking in there at that 3rd spot, and then whatever Michigan does, like if it comes down to a 10-2 Michigan team versus a 9-3 team from somewhere else, or even an 11-1 team from somewhere else,
Yep.
I believe Michigan gets the nod. But it's going to be tough, man. I do believe they're a 10-2 team, but they can get in at 9-3. It just depends on how the rest of the field looks at that point.
All right, here's the mistake you fellas make. You think teams are put in to the playoffs because they deserve it.
No.
That's only partially true.
Yeah.
Another thing, Michigan, they want Michigan in the college playoffs. They bring ratings, they bring eyes, they bring interest to
Exactly.
whatever communities are going to play in after the first round.
T-Foss.
So, what? Are you going to dispute that?
I asked a question. If you answer the question, you realize that it has nothing to do with what you're saying. How many teams are going to get into the field of 12, and what will be their ranks? I'll go first to help you out. I got OSU will be in there at number 3.
At number 3, okay.
Oregon will be in number 4. Penn State will be in because their schedule was exactly like you said.
Yeah, it's a cakewalk.
Them and Iowa. Them and Iowa's another wild card, if you will. If
Yeah.
somebody substituted Iowa for Penn State, I would have no problem with that. And I think Michigan at 10. I think that's from the Big Ten who gets in. And I think that's the order. So I kind of telling on myself.
Flip Penn State and Michigan. Because last time I checked, they play each other, right?
They do.
This is
Well,
true.
Okay.
Not
So
this year.
Michigan can get
I
in
thought-
ahead of Penn State.
Oh, yeah, you might
Michigan,
be
Penn
right.
State don't play this year.
Oh, wow.
Penn
That's a
State,
shame.
Michigan,
That's a
Penn
little
State
bit, yeah.
is off the schedule. So
And
that's
they-
why I had Penn
that's
State
tragic.
ahead of Michigan, to be honest.
And Michigan usually dominates Penn State.
Yeah,
No, well, you know that, but
you
yeah.
can count for Michigan fans. Michigan fans can count on Penn State as a big win for Michigan every
Yeah.
year. Because Penn State is going to be ranked somewhere they shouldn't be ranked,
Yep.
and Michigan is going to win, with the exception, I think, once in the last 4 or 5 games.
Can I dispute something somebody said? They said the people hate Penn State.
Yeah.
Nobody hates them. They're jive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
But-
people hate James Franklin.
Yes.
I actually, if I'm being honest, I know this is sacrilegious or whatever. I like Penn State.
Yeah.
I think I like the colors. I like the tradition. I like the mascot with the scarf. I don't know what it is. It's kind
You know why?
of quirky.
You know
James
why you
Franklin
like
is
Penn
a
State?
fraud.
I like the whiteouts. I like a lot of their players. I think they always get the quarterback wrong. Like years
Be
and years
truthful
and years.
with us.
Huh?
The reason you like Penn State is because the team you support most beats their ass every year. That's why you like
Well,
them.
no,
They're
like-
not a threat.
Well, Pete said this earlier. I'm a sucker for tradition. So when I think of Penn State, I think of Joe Pa, and I'm
Right,
sorry if that
right,
offends
right.
people out there. You can kiss my, you know what?
No,
I
it's
think
real.
of Joe Pa. I think of LeVar Arrington. I think of Curtis Enos. I think of Joe Jurevicius, who I played with the same team. Michael Robinson, when he hit that kid in Minnesota and knocked his helmet off. So I think of that Penn State, and I like how their identity, their culture, their, what do you call it? Like their Riz, if you will, as young folks say. Their Riz is growing as a culture. Like it's kind of, it's inviting. It's
Yeah.
dope, to be honest.
Not T-Foss.
Tradition. There
He
you go.
brought up Iowa. If there is a 9-3 Michigan and a 10-2 Iowa, who are you putting in the playoff?
Michigan.
Yeah, and that's going to be controversial, and that will prove my point that it's more
For the
about
last Big Ten
it's,
spot.
it's just as much about who you want in
Yeah.
as who deserves to be in there.
Yeah.
Nobody
Problem-
wants to see freaking Iowa
Yeah, it's about the
in
matchup.
the playoffs,
It's
man.
about the matchup.
The problem with that, if they go 9-3, and we'll take a break. I know Pete's waiting to get this
Oh, you're
break in.
fine.
We'll take
If
a
they
break.
go 9-3,
Message from
they've
the Boys
lost
and Girls
all
Club.
of the big games.
Thank you. Thank you. And that's the problem. If they go 9-3, that means they lost to Texas, they lost to Oregon, and they lost to Ohio State.
But does that matter in the new format?
I can't reward them by putting them in after losing that, unless there's just no 9-3s that have a better schedule or better resume.
Losses may not
go
mean as much this
9-3.
year.
But do we count those 6-3 victories they're gonna have? I mean 9-6 and 12-9.
Who's gonna score 9? Michigan gonna put some points up.
I'm just talking about Iowa, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Stay connected.
They always. And with that, we're gonna go to commercial break.
goodness sakes.
Let's get a message in from the BGSCM. Register now, tackle football and cheerleading, the 3C Sports League. It is the #1 sports league in Detroit, but also Belleville, Highland Park, and East Point. All coaches are trained, certified, and undergo background checks. So this means your kids are in good hands. 5 to 14 are the ages. You got to get the kids off the couch. Put the youth back in youth sports. That's what exactly we're doing. BGSM.org. And also, why don't you register for Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential. With over 50 locations in metropolitan Detroit, it's the #1 gym because your fitness is essential. So they have a squeaky clean gym for you to come and do the things that you need to do pre and post workout. They have a 30-minute total body right there in the middle. You can work out. You got a trainer with every membership. Planet Fitness is the place for you.
It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola? Really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets?
Nobody!
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
Yo, let me just say, I love Planet Fitness.
Trying out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Listen, the PF Black Card is worth every penny for this hydro massage. I'm a new man.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home? Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
All the benefits, all for less. Planet Fitness, big fitness energy for all.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists. Enjoy a precision haircut, hot lather neck shave, scalp and neck massage, and a hot towel treatment to top it off. Enter for your chance to win the $50,000 Perfect Bracket Challenge. With more than 25 Metro Detroit locations, there's always a Lady Jane's near you. Lady Jane's Haircut for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Hey, dreaming of a new home but feeling the financial pinch? Mark White and Associates, your trusted real estate experts, are here to help. Mark White and his team will pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's right, I said $5,000. Call Mark White and Associates today, 248-290-8242, or visit them at markwhitesells.com. Again, call Mark White today, 248-290-8242, to make your dreams come true, Kenny.
And, of course, shout out to the beautiful Lady Jane's girls across from us, always working hard over there. But awesome is when a guy can get a haircut and just feel like a guy, man. That's Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Stop in, sit back, and relax and let one of the talented Lady Jane stylists make you look and feel great. Walk in anytime, 7 days a week. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Wicked awesome indeed it is. T-Foss, mom told me to tell you hello.
Oh, mom.
Yeah, you know mom loves you. She said hi to you guys as well, but Terry
Mom.
has a special
Mama
place
Bray.
in her heart. We actually went out last night, went to a good dinner up in Ann Arbor, man. We took a meeting. I think the meeting went well. Got a chance to see mom. Mom, she put it on last night. Yo. KZ, I came nice and chill, smooth, easy going.
Yeah.
Mom she was dressed.
Oh, wow.
She was dressed to the nines. Shout out to Mom Dukes.
Shout out.
Biggest supporter. The Tigers. We've been talking about the Detroit Tigers. T-Foss want to bring you into this conversation ad nauseum. Look, I'm at the space with the Tigers now where I can't get disappointed. I don't believe they're going to make the playoffs. I hope they do, but I don't think this is a major league situation. I think you're going to set yourself up to get let down, kind of like yesterday, where you got excited when Spencer Torkelson first came up. Yesterday, more of the same, why he was sent back down to the minors, and did some other mistakes as well. Runners in scoring position, I believe, twice or three times yesterday, Pete?
Yes, sir.
Runners in scoring situation.
They were 0 for 8 with runners in scoring position.
Yep.
That's how you do not get to the postseason. I will say this, and I'm going to open this conversation up, see where you are with this Detroit Tiger team who take on the Red Sox tonight. Look, the Red Sox lost the game last night, so they stayed right at 4.5. They didn't lose the game, if you will, so right at 4.5. Casey Myers is on the mound today.
Yes, sir.
Returning from injury.
So T-Foss, this will be the only thing that can maybe turn me onto what the Detroit Tigers can do. If Casey Myers goes out there and looks like something tonight, in a big game, in a big moment, coming back, a guy that we drafted #1 overall, if he can go out there and look like something, that means now they will have two starting pitchers. Now, you got to see it more consistently, but two starting pitchers is what you're going to need. Because working this bullpen situation with Tarek Scuba as your only guy, I just can't buy into that. So I'm out on them making it, but I do hope it happens. Casey Myers making get me there.
The way they're set up, it can't work long term with this whole bullpen thing. But this is, there's a lot of mediocre teams fighting for the playoffs. And I will say this, even though I'm with you, I do not think the Tigers are going to make it.
Yeah.
But if they win this series against Boston, I have no choice but to say, you know what, they're in it. And the Tigers should do everything they can to try to make the wild card.
What are you expecting from tonight? And Pete, Casey Myers is on the mound. The Tigers coming off a loss and playing against the team. Like, wouldn't you want to? Don't you expect to see them try? When's the last time the Detroit Tigers have been in a space to maybe get into the playoffs? Although they might make it tonight, don't you want to see the effort?
Well, that's the thing. You just said exactly what I would have told you. I want to see that fire. This is the time. If you want to play some September baseball, then September baseball is the time for the stars to shine. If you have the talent, now is the time for you to use the talent to make runs happen. Bats need to be productive. You need to have everything kind of clicking, and this is where A.J. Hinch is going to be key here. I think A.J. Hinch has done a fabulous job with how his staff has kept the team in the whole fight the whole way here. And tonight and throughout this weekend, this is where A.J. Hinch is actually also going to prove to us if he's ready to take this team to the next level by making the appropriate decisions of managing the game and making sure that these kids are ready to play some tough baseball.
Yeah.
Here's what the Tigers have done.
Oh, tell us what the Tigers have done.
The Tigers have forced Chris Ilitch to make a move during the offseason.
Maybe.
Now, they said, if you got a core, we're going to spend. This looks like a core to me.
Right on.
Now, here's why I believe the Tigers will never amount to anything. Because
Not never, T-Foss.
Ever.
Never?
Because
Never ever?
It's got to be an owner situation.
If you don't if you don't do anything in the offseason, it shows that you're not serious.
Yeah.
Chris Ilitch is treating this like a business, not as a franchise that wants to win. And I think, they probably could use a couple hitters and a pitcher for next year. And that's going to be a steep price tag. He'll balk. So that's why I never think the Tigers are going to hit the promised land again.
KG,
unless you get new ownership.
Yeah.
All right, KG, with just under 30 games, I think they're sitting at – how many games are they sitting at? 26 games now, I believe they have left in the season. Do you feel like the Tigers have found a core? I mean, we throw out some names. You throw out Parker Meadows. Looks like he's finally here. You throw out Riley Green. Looks like Riley Green has had a pretty good year thus to this point. You look at players like Colton Keith. You look at other players. Winslow Perez. You look at seems like they make. Do you believe in this core, guys, or you're not there?
No, I do feel like they found a semblance of a core. Now, is every player that's on this team right now going to be in the core? No, but you look at the revival of Parker Meadows, somebody that was an Alavila guy that they had to send down in the middle of the season. He's come back up and his bat has been great. We already knew about the defense and the base running. Spencer Torkelson, somebody I struggle with because I feel like he has the ability. He does. I swear he does, but I just don't know if it's going to happen here. Last night in that game, he struck out in 2 really big spots. And career with bases loaded in those situations, he's batting under 100. So Spencer Tork is somebody I worry about. But everybody else, as far as the core, I feel like they do have a semblance of a core. You have a Riley Green. You have a Colt Keith, who has had an amazing 2 months of baseball. Yeah. So there is absolutely something there. You still got Tarek Skubal. You didn't trade him, so that would make him a part of the core. And ultimately, your pitching rotation is pretty solid when they're healthy. I just think they need to just go out here and put together the best baseball they can. You're dealing with young players, so you're still going to get some of those trials and tribulations at the plate. You're looking at Boston. They're 3.5 games out of the wild card. They're the first team out of the wild card. You go against them for 3 games, I believe. Is it 3 or 4 games, Pete?
It's 3.
It's 3 games in this series. Probably the most important series of your season.
Need a sweep.
You do need a sweep, but if they win the series, I feel like that's okay. And just let things shake out at the end of the year. But the young guys have to step up offensively. I'm not necessarily worried about the bullpen, even though they have been short on arms. You have Casey Mize back, Ty Madden as well. You got a Skubal day during this series as well. So it's all about the offense during this particular series.
Here's
you
the
need
problem
a
with
sweep.
the Tigers. You do.
I'm not even trying to be funny. Like we're at the point.
You do need a sweep.
2 out of 3 would be good.
2 out of 3 would be good.
But don't get swept. Every time the Tigers, it seems, look over into the promised land, they slip.
If they lose one, if they lose one, I'd rather them get swept. Excuse me. If they lose 2, I'd rather them get swept.
Right.
Don't lose 2 and we're still trying
to win the last one.
Exactly. And then people still try to do the calculations like, oh, you know what? Well,
right.
Not do that. Just get swept because now I really don't want to think about it.
You're not going.
If you're gonna lose 2, get swept.
You're not going to the game. You're not going to the playoffs on the meatloaf game plan. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. It ain't happening.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. 100%. And it is what it is.
But can I bring up one thing, Bray? Is that okay?
Please
now, the Tigers only have 6 games remaining against fellow Central opponents, and that's actually key because when you face obviously an opponent in your division, that helps move the games that you're either down or up. And if you look at the schedule remaining in September for the Tigers, it's a playoff schedule.
Where the White Sox at?
Well, the White Sox are at the end. The White Sox are at the end,
At the
dude.
very end.
Also, Tampa Bay's at the end. But you got you're hosting Boston. You're at San Diego. Then you have 8 games coming up with Baltimore, home there and home here, and then you got the Kansas City Royals. This is how you want to see if the Tigers are good. Then you start beating these teams, and you make the playoffs.
Yeah, that's a murderous row right there. Finish the season off
Here's
trying
the
to be
thing I don't see: the teams who are fighting were in playoff position like 12, 15 games above 500.
Yeah,
are the Tigers ever going to be double digits over 500? I just don't think so.
You talking about this
season? Probably not, but
all right, where they at now? 1.
Yeah, one game.
They're 1 game above because they lost. They were at 2. They lost.
Yep.
Yeah, man. If you get this sweep, it's a lot of ifs. So, isn't it funny? It's always ifs with Detroit sports.
Man, what?
If we don't fumble, if we don't blow 20 games.
Tell me about it.
With Dylan, what's his name? Excuse me. Who's the?
Well, I mean,
who's the captain
that's
for
with
the Red
everyday
Wings?
life. Like,
Dylan Larkin.
If you had little mitten hands, if you had mitten hands, you probably wouldn't be a wide receiver in the NFL. So that's another if. Everything is an if. Life is an if.
That's true.
So you got to overcome the ifs.
Yeah, I think he wins some of these U.S. Opens if his uniform was a little bit better too.
Right.
I love Francis Tiafoe, man, but his uniforms are trash.
But to the Tigers' point, I mean, we have seen them beat the Dodgers. We've seen them compete with some of the top tier teams. Yes, they beat the Yankees. We've seen them compete with some of the top tier teams. It's the games that they're supposed to win that they've had trouble with. Now, lately, they've been able to do that. I mean, this whole stretch has been built off of bad MLB teams. We got to be real about it. But they are doing what they are supposed to do. So if they can go into Boston and put up at least 2 games, they do need a sweep, but if they can put up at least 2 games, that's good. That keeps them in the hunt, and you just got to see how things play out at the end. But
it does. But now here is the extra to this series.
Yeah.
The Tigers know they have to play well. The Red Sox know they have to play well to keep them off their case.
True. The Red Sox been in tailspin.
Win in a pressure situation?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Can they win in a pressure situation?
That's the question.
Boston's going to be like,
with young guys.
We're trying to get the Yankees. We're trying to win our division. We want to. I mean, the Red Sox are thinking more about than just making the playoffs. They want to make a run.
True.
Tigers, let's just get in and see what happens.
All right, here's a good question. Look, enough of that. Like, we know where it is. We probably don't need to revisit this again. I feel like, excuse me, we're doing it because obviously they're playing the Boston Red Sox. But each and every win or loss, we're coming back to the board and we're trying to reconfigure the algorithm. Scott Harris. Scott Harris is a guy that did not make the necessary moves. A lot of people believe in the offseason, knowing what the season was going to be and what you need. A lot of people believe he failed there. He failed with the Javi Baez experience, although he's not.
You're right. He's not responsible for that.
That's what I say. He's not forking over the money. And then also, trade deadline. You get with a Flaherty for what a lot of people believe to be a steal for the other team, not us. Where are you with Scott Harris in all of this?
Not his fault.
Okay.
I think Scott Harris, let's say if you have a great swimmer and this guy can, break world records. Well, if you put a brick on the end of his leg, he's not going to be swimming as well. I think Scott Harris has a brick on his leg while he's trying to swim.
Chris Ilitch.
The brick is Chris Ilitch.
Yeah.
That's the guy that I blame because if I want to go back to the beginning of the season, before the season even began.
Oh, take us back to it.
If you read the quotes, what did they say? Oh, gosh, darn it, we don't have enough hitting.
Right.
We're going to try to keep it close with our pitching, but we don't have any hitting. Well, a good owner would have said, oh, really?
Let's go
get me the best hitters you can. I'll pay for it. Let's trade. I don't know if we can sign free agents, but whatever. I would have said in the offseason, this is our problem. Bring me some offense.
Yeah.
I don't care what it costs.
There were some guys there. Cody Bellinger was one of the guys that came up, a bigger player. Then also keep taking the age-old take Chapman as well as J.D. Martinez.
So let's go back to the Carlos Correa problem.
Correa didn't tear it up in Minnesota, though.
I hear you, but he was a better option than Baez.
Better option than Baez. You know what? I deserve that.
Anybody is better than Javi Baez.
But didn't we match it and he said no? Or am I making that up?
I think you are right on that, but still, they should have gone over. They shouldn't have been matching. They should have been just throwing cases of money at this point.
But here's the other thing we heard. Well, we don't want to block the kid's path.
What are you doing over there?
I'm just trying to educate you.
You touching his breast.
I thought you was doing like the
No, I wasn't doing
massaging your breast while you giving sports takes.
No.
I was confused, sir. My apologies.
I'm just trying to rub my shoulder.
Oh, okay.
When
that happens at old age, huh?
Yeah. When you get older, stuff hurts, so you rub it.
It hurts. Legitimately, I got up. When I put my foot down on the ground when I get out of bed, I know what type of day it's gonna be.
Yeah.
You touch that foot on the floor,
that foot
you're
arthritis.
like, nah, it's gonna be a tough one today.
Right. Maybe I go back in this bed.
That foot arthritis, man.
But what were you saying? I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
Well, I lost my train.
That also comes with old age.
That's a That's a Tom Manzo.
But I mean, the Scott Harris.
No.
Go ahead.
I got it. What we're also told? Well, we can't bring in any hitters because it's going to block the kids. We don't want to block the kids. That's an excuse. That's Chris Ilitch telling Scott Harris, "Hey, look, we ain't bringing anybody in. Come up with an excuse. I'm not paying for this stuff. So blah 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 blah." Says, well, we don't want to block the kids. You're not blocking anybody. Yeah, Miggy blocking the kids for that last 6 years.
Yeah.
And they still went along with it. So I think we're being sold a false bill of goods by the Detroit Tigers. And it's unfortunate because my philosophy, and this is the T-Foss philosophy, if you spend, the people will come. You don't have to have a World Series caliber team. You get a team that is a threat. You get a team that's above 500, which they are now, and people are gonna show up this weekend.
You're
right?
You're trying to make them the Guardians.
You
know the Guardians are gonna be in the playoffs.
Need to do, but you could be 4 or 5 games better if you decide to spend a couple $1 million more, a few million more.
100%.
So it makes no sense not to spend for the Detroit Tigers. You'll make your money.
Well, 2 teams that spent, I want to switch it, still stay with the MLB, switch out of Detroit. 2 teams that spent, the Yankees spent on Aaron Judge, and the Dodgers spent all the money that they had on Shohei Ohtani. T-Foss, have you seen an MVP race like this? Like, this one is starting to heat up. I feel like every time Aaron Judge does something and he makes you remember his stats, the OPS or the WAR, the average, the home runs, here comes Shohei Ohtani. Shohei Ohtani will probably finish the season 50-50. Aaron Judge probably will break his record. Who you voting for when it comes down to it?
Right now, I mean, yeah, it's still a work in progress. But right now, Aaron Judge.
Yeah.
I think Aaron Judge has just made a bigger impact. He will probably break his record. And you know what they did to Aaron Judge in the first week of the season?
Yeah.
They booed him.
Yeah, they did. That was last year.
No, that was this year because he didn't have any home runs his first week. Then he went bam.
I thought that was.
In that case,
it happened this year.
In that case, it happens every year.
Yeah,
Right.
New York
when
is
he broke,
different.
He broke the record last year. When he broke the record, that's how it started. They were booing him, and then he got. Maybe he needs it. Maybe he needs it.
Maybe it's tradition now.
I think KG and I were talking about it, and I think we both agree with you. If you want to talk about who's the better player and all that, Shohei's the unicorn.
No, of course.
We'll never see anything like Shohei again. I mean, the man is going to be 50-50, and oh, by the way, he also has 18 wins as a pitcher under his belt in the season. So this is just dumb stuff. But what Aaron Judge is doing, like they're 20 games ahead, or I think they're 18 games ahead of 500. Nobody plays at the level that Aaron Judge does on that team. It may be the Yankees. He's like a one-man band with that team outside of Juan Soto.
It's crazy because he really is a one-man band.
Him and Soto is it.
Right, but you think of what that team is comprised of. You have a Giancarlo Stanton, Volpe.
You got Cole on the mound.
Yes, and they're probably going to fail in the playoffs. I like the Yankees, but once again, they're probably going to choke in the playoffs. But Aaron Judge, what he's doing in the outfield, he's actually playing defense now. So I think you got to give it to him, man. Shohei, while he is absolutely great, you look at the team he has around him, I would say that they are better than the Yankees as presently constructed. So, I mean, it is what it is, man. Aaron Judge, he's going to break his own home run record again, man. I would give the nod to him just in this year alone. But, of course, Shohei, I think, is the better player overall.
Both of these players are amazing. T-Foss, I'm going to ask you, you got a lot of years watching these sports. Baseball players, who's the best player or just most dominant player that you've seen in person?
Well, I'm going to go with the pitcher, first of all, Roger Clemens.
Ooh. Which version of Roger Clemens?
Well, what two versions? We talking Yankee or Red Sox?
Well, I didn't know if you thought
overall.
Okay, I got you.
Overall, he was the best pitcher that I've seen. The best, I'm going to say baseball player.
Okay.
But if you're looking for someone who can bat that I've seen, well, it goes way back.
You saw Babe Ruth?
No, not that old.
He ain't that old.
He was there at the pointing game. He was there.
He ain't that old.
Okay.
No, I never saw it.
Okay. You saw
Babe Ruth, by the way, the Major League Baseball's first black player.
Oh, yeah. They're not ready for that conversation.
Yeah, I know.
They're not ready for that conversation.
Pete turned away like, what you talking about?
Right. I looked up at you like, what?
I like this.
Nah, it's
Pete got all nervous.
No. I like this. I like good stuff like that.
So, KG, best baseball player, most dominant player you've seen in person?
That I've seen in person?
Yeah.
Miguel Cabrera.
Miggy?
Miggy.
It's nothing wrong with that answer.
Miggy, during his run, man, one of the best pure hitters of the baseball I've ever laid.
He's top 3 right-handed of all time.
No, big facts, man. And I mean, in the zone, out the zone, it doesn't matter. Like, he could connect with a baseball in a way that I personally have never seen. But I was also a vendor at Comerica Park for 2 years, so I got to see him during their World Series run and things of that nature. But Miguel Cabrera, probably the best baseball player I've ever seen in person.
One thing I wish he would have got one of those World Series, and the reason why is like when you get that World Series, it validates everything else.
Yes.
Now, when
he did get it, just not with us.
Well, true, but I'm saying as a Tiger.
Yeah.
He got it early on in his career. Mickey's a good one. I don't care that we're from here. I don't care what we talk about, like Miguel Cabrera. If he doesn't get hurt in year 2, he gets back-to-back Triple Crowns.
Yeah.
He was hurt, and I think he finished first, second, and second.
Yes.
The year he was hurt, he almost got another Triple Crown.
He did.
Pete, I know you love baseball as well. Come on, man. You got to give me the most dominant player, not named Mickey, that you've seen in person.
I got.
You got a couple, don't you?
Well, I have 2, but just based on overall talent, I'll go with the one, Ricky Henderson.
Oh,
I think that Ricky Henderson, man. I'm going to tell you something, dude. To watch this guy run the bases, and I mean, I was so fortunate to be, alive in the 80s and all that stuff, late 70s and the 80s to see these players come up. But between him and Bo Jackson, man, it's either Ricky or Bo, but I'm going to go with Ricky just based on the fact that he had better stats.
You stole that was gonna be my sugar on top, cream on top of the strawberry. That was gonna be the one. So I guess I'll start there. Ricky Henderson, man. I saw him down in Michigan and Trumbull. I saw him hit one of his home runs. So I'm still 4 bases in the game, and then I actually got a chance to go home and see the post-game interview, and he gave you one of those Ricky-isms. Remember his Ricky-isms? Because he talks in the first person.
Right.
Ricky. Can't nobody steal bases like Ricky Henderson. Like, that's what he said. I remember that.
That's how you know you good.
I remember that vividly.
I used to hate that as a journalist.
Oh, Ricky?
No, just talking in third person.
Yeah.
It's one of those, third person, excuse me. It's one of those things that you hated then, but now you look back, it's like, it's great. Like, when you look back at the Ricky, like the clips.
You know who would scold you if you talk about yourself in the third person?
Stan and Lloyd.
I was gonna say, Mama was gonna get on you.
Yeah, 100%. I would. Braylon would never do that.
Braylon would never do that. No, she be saying, Mama don't tolerate that.
Exactly. Now she's talking in third person as well.
Right.
Ricky Henderson, same as Pete. And then also 1995, the Seattle Mariners were here once again, Michigan and Trumbull. Saw Ken Griffey rob somebody of a home run and have 2 home runs that day. So
I wish I could have seen him live.
You say y'all gonna put Ricky Henderson ahead of Ken Griffey Jr.?
No, like Ken was my number one.
Oh,
Ricky was kind of like the one I didn't think anybody would think of.
And I was a kid when Griffey was playing.
Dude,
so
that swing.
Like,
all I try to do is, and I'm a right-hander. All I try to do is just impersonate that swing.
Starting in 1991, like he made every kid try to be a switch hitter.
Oh yeah.
Like every kid was at the batting cage trying to left hand swing. I can hit left-handed, but it wasn't like right hand.
Yeah, of course.
It wasn't nothing clean. Like, you on the right side, smooth. Left side was just
that's tough. He make it look easy.
And then Gary Sheffield,
they trying that uppercut.
And then Gary Sheffield came along and turned it into like a the way he made it very violent.
Man.
I love his violence, man.
Chef,
you see the Suns on deck. The Sun has the same bat.
Oh, really?
It's not as wild.
Yeah.
Sheffield.
It was wild, but it worked.
Why is Sheffield not in the Hall of Fame?
It's a shame.
He's a bubble. I think he's a bubble guy.
He's got no Tigers. He's got no steroids.
He was solid.
He's got no
Tigers,
PEDs.
He might be bubble on stats. That's all.
Okay.
I mean, that's all. I'm just being fair.
You know what I do appreciate, though, and we'll take this to the top of the hour, and then we'll get into the Lions. I know tomorrow is game day. We'll do some more college football, but we'll get into the Lions. We'll give you some news, some notes, some things. Also, that helmet. The new helmet drop. We'll talk about that.
That boy is.
We're going to show that in a second, but what was that? What were we talking about?
Oh, man.
Baseball.
Old man moment.
Right?
How about that?
Look at you, 40-year-old Ray. We was talking about the best players we've seen in person.
It's 41.
Hey, at least I went to 60 before I started forgetting
I
stuff.
talking about Gary Sheffield, and what that got me to was Cooperstown is still a place where they value like great players.
No, for sure.
It's hard.
And they
to get on
don't
the
let
baseball.
just everybody in, although Barry Bonds and Pete Rose is a crime. Lou Whitaker as well. A crime.
Yeah, like Barry, like I put it to you like this. Pete did it to himself.
I guess, but
I watched the Charlie Hustle doc on HBO Max. Like they tried to bring him back, and then he went the opposite way.
That was under Bud Selig. We talking about,
but they had a plan to bring him in, and then he wrote the book. He wrote the book to talk about. It's like, what
I do
are
understand
you doing?
But
Pete Rose is a gangster.
The stats are the stats, though.
He don't care.
This is a new league in which the MLB and all sports leagues are in bed with the sports books.
You ain't lying about that.
Like, they are all in bed with the sports books.
I would put I put Barry and Pete in.
Yeah.
If I own, but yeah.
Y'all got to own the steroid era at this point. That was the best era of baseball.
They the ones that let it go. They knew everybody was juicing.
Right.
They use it for the stats. They use it for the home runs.
But they want to keep people out the Hall of Fame.
The summer of 1997 or was it 98?
Yeah.
That was one of the most fun times in my life watching Mark McGuire kick. People forget Ken Griffey Jr. started off the league.
Yeah.
And then Josh Hamilton came along, too, for the Texas Rangers.
God. Yeah, Josh could bomb the ball.
And at the time, baseball was in huge trouble. Man, they may have saved Major League Baseball.
Right. What was it, like the 94 strike?
Yeah, that strike. And people were pissed about baseball.
They let the NFL
Sammy
take them over as the most
Souser,
game.
as Bill Clinton called him.
It happened the same year. Look, I got to get a quick commercial break because we do have bills to pay.
Yeah.
But it happened the same year. Freaking NHL goes on strike, 94, 95. Baseball went on strike, 94, 95. The NFL was like, thank you.
Keep it ticking.
Thank you. All right, let's get a message while we're playing Forum. Dr. Pierce, Injury Insider.
Yeah, that's right, everybody. Attention, sports fans. Don't miss out on expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. Join Dr. Pierce every Tuesday during Big D Energy and Thursdays during our show, Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, where he offers up top-notch injury advice. Trust the guy that DMAC trusts. Dr. Jeff Pierce is here to help keep you in the game and performing at your best. For more info, visit MichiganSportsAndSpine.com or call 248-426-9944. And also, you want to give your pet the best. Premier Pet Supply is hands down Michigan's best pet store. Same prices and all the conveniences of the online and big box realtors with one major difference. Family owned and locally operated for over 30 years. Over 60 brands of food with nutrition experts there to help you. Same day, local curbside and home delivery. Premier Pet Supply. Give your pet the best at premierpetsupply.com.
It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
So just to get the heated steering wheel, I also had to spring for the bigger rims.
Yeah, that's how they get you. Those upgrades will cost you an arm and a leg every time.
Hey, new car crew, how'd it go this weekend? I got a great deal on mine.
How?
I went to Randy Wise, not those other guys. They got me in a great new ride, and they didn't break my budget. Hey, could you pass me the sugar?
How?
Never mind.
He made the wise choice.
Yep.
Make the wise choice at RandyWiseChevy.com.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit sports.
Let me just say, I love Planet Fitness.
Trying out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Listen, the PF Black Card is worth every penny for this hydro massage. I'm a new man.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home? Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
All the benefits, all for less. Planet Fitness, big fitness energy for all.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists. Enjoy a precision haircut, hot lather neck shave, scalp and neck massage, and a hot towel treatment to top it off. Enter for your chance to win the $50,000 Perfect Bracket Challenge. With more than 25 Metro Detroit locations, there's always a Lady Jane's near you. Lady Jane's Haircut for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and WoodwardSports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at WoodwardSports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell double kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You know, of course, you expand and offer more products to more people. That is exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC, the same great service that customers have come to know and trust on Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile Road. Check out Les Stanford in Dearborn today at lesstanford.com. Les Stanford Chevrolet. Together, let's drive on over to Bray.
Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizzas taking over Michigan with the Nashville High. I couldn't even keep it. Did you see Kenny put the sexy voice on for the ring?
That's my voice, bro.
I was going to say, this ain't soul radio now.
That is my voice.
Hold on. Ladies and gentlemen, you got to get to Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza. The pizza is fire. The fountain sodas, that's what Maz love. They are good as well. But also, it's the honey biscuits for me. The honey biscuits are fire. The chicken is great. And the Nashville Hot is back, so you want to check that out as well. Limited time only on that Nashville Hot. Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza. No, I was dying laughing. Like, he was like, you know, what happens when a business has success over years? You expand and you offer more goods.
Pillow Talk with Kenny
That's
G.
what Stanford has done for the. I was like, okay, Kenny.
That's my voice, man.
You can't
this voice that got me into a lot of trouble.
Your midnight voice in the afternoon.
Man, well, he was like, what was Donnie's name? What was Donnie's last name? On BET, Donnie Simpson. Oh, right. Remember Donnie Simpson with the smooth voice? Yeah, you listen to the hour. You know,
it's a gift and a curse. I say
smooth jazz V98.7. Right. All right, man. Enough jokes about Kenny and the voice. The Detroit Lions. That's what we're here for. That's what people come to listen to. That's what they come to talk about. They dropped some new helmets. T. Are you a fan of new helmets, new jersey, new swag as they call it?
Yeah, I like it because as a society, we keep modernizing, we keep changing everything, and I think teams should do the same thing.
Oh my!
I'm gonna let
except maybe your little blue at Michigan. They should probably keep.
Hey, what I tell you, there was no reason to bring Michigan.
I said they should keep it.
It's gonna shine through every time.
You know, I'm always on high alert when you say Michigan. I know it's coming to KG. You know what you think about these helmets? I think the Lions are doing things the right way.
Yes, it's about damn time, man. For the longest, not only were we a losing franchise, but we had the same freaking uniforms for forever, man. Now, I know they changed it up. They got the grays and, you know, the Willie Clay on the side and things of that nature. That was cool. But what they doing now with the Lions, man, I absolutely love it. It gives us a little style. It gives us a little character. We not just that same old losing team from the early 2000s and, you know, years past, man. I want us to differentiate ourselves, and I feel like they did a great job this year with the black jerseys. Even the blue ones are starting to grow on me. I was kind of critical of the blue ones at first. They did it a little too classic for me at first, but now looking at them on the field, they look good, man. But maybe it's because of the, you know, how good the team is as well. But I like the direction they're going in. Gives this team some character and some personality.
Pete, I'm gonna bring it to you. It feels like Super Bowl, and the reason why I say that, you tell me if you agree and you put your spin on it.
Sir,
when the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, when they switched over, when they went to those, when they were the first ones to make that big switch, they had started to get good before they got the uniforms. They get the uniforms, they win the Super Bowl. The Denver Broncos,
that's true.
John Elway, they were getting to the playoffs. They just couldn't take that next step. They switched the uniforms, some of the coldest uniforms ever. They started doing the Mile High Salute. You get my drift where I'm going with this. Doesn't it just seem like that?
Well, you got to dress to impress if you want to go to the big party. And so that's what the Lions are going to do. They're going to establish that look of a champion, which is exactly what you mean, Braylon. That's what the Tampa Bay Bucks did. They established the look of a champion, bringing in the pewter, whatever. Yeah, the pewter and the red.
Look at you with pewter.
Huh?
Right,
pewter. I see you saying pewter.
Pewter, baby.
Pewter was my prom suit my senior year. Pewter.
See, so you were dressed to impress. So Bray, you dress to impress when you go out. Hey, you dress to impress when you're here. But I'm just saying. So if you're gonna go to the big party, you want to look good. But I am gonna be that guy for a quick second, if you don't mind me saying.
Okay, Homer.
Even if they They do look good, but I kind of don't care if they look good. Do they protect the players? And that's my main concern. I want to make sure those players' heads are protected.
And if you look good, you play good.
And if you play good, look good,
feel good.
Tampa was not going to go to the Super Bowl wearing those creamsicle uniforms.
Nah. And they had something right before those. I think that's when they did the white version. But you're absolutely correct. Who? The Falcons. Falcons are another team that did it. They changed their uniforms, and then here come the Dirty Bird. But yeah, so glad they're doing things. I like the jerseys. I think they're going in the right direction. But they're still keeping, a sense of what the Lions are. They're not going overboard and changing something you don't even recognize.
Yeah.
100%.
But you look good, play good, man.
Look good, play good. You know what else plays good for the Detroit Lions? It's Jared Goff.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's about time. I think we've done enough. Giving him his flowers this year. I want him to go out there. I want him to earn the money that he got. You saw how he got it. We gave him the money because he earned it. He got the 2 playoff wins. He's gotten better and better each year. He's been here. Last year, he was phenomenal in terms of his percentage. He's finished in the top 5 the last 2 years. T-Falls, where would you rank Jared Goff in the top 10? If he's in your top 10.
You asked the wrong person that question.
And that's why I
don't give a damn if he's a top 10, top 15, or top 20 quarterback.
Not what I asked you.
You know what? I'm playing by my own rules today, so get used to this stuff.
Right. Okay. That's Terry Foster.
Is he good enough? Is he good enough for the Detroit Lions? I think that's all that matters. This whole ranking stuff is unnecessary and crazy. Is this a guy that's going to win playoff games for the Lions? Is this a guy that can win a Super Bowl for the Lions? Whether he's ranked 1st or 21st, the answer to me is yes. So that's why I don't give a damn about your little rankings. They're cute and everything. But I think just in this situation, because of the camaraderie and that he has with his teammates, the way he fits in here, and Dan Campbell said it, hey, Jared Goff, you're good enough for Detroit. That's good enough for me. That's all I care about. That's all I focus on. I'm not going to be on those numbers. Sorry for spoiling your day, but I'm not answering your question.
That's fine, because it wasn't my top 9. It was none other than the man Dan Orlovsky. Take a look. Where does Jared Goff fit in his top 9?
9. So the phrasing I use or the way I describe it is quarterbacks you win because of. There's a high amount of quarterbacks that teams win with in the NFL, but because of, and it's broken down into 2 different places. There's 9. The 2 guys that were tough to leave off, both Jalen Hurts and Jordan Love. Jordan just got to see a little bit more. I think he's right on that verge. And then Jalen, I just want to see what he looks like this year coming back in with Kellen Moore as his play caller, 3rd offensive quarter in 3 years. Win because of is broken down into 2 separate things. 1, we win the game even though our defense gave up a ton of points, whether it's 26, 28, 30. Like, we find a way to win more often than not because of you. Or we're hurt on offense, we're missing receivers, or, our offensive line's beat up, and but we find a way to win the game because of you. Those are the 2 kind of the criteria that they're put into, and I think there's 9 of them.
Good Lord.
Who's going first?
I'll
Taking
go.
it?
I'll go.
You go. Go ahead.
I'll go Shannon.
Go ahead, Stephen A.
I'll go Shannon. Good Lord. I just need to pray for Orlovsky. I mean, sometimes. And then when it comes to the quarterback position, we have to remember we have an obligation to tell our audience, because, see, I love Dan. I love Dan. We all love Dan and stuff like that. I mean, it's genuine love here. You understand what I'm saying? Some haterade out there for him. He ain't got no business doing that, but we got love for him. But then he has moments like this. And we have to remind it that Dan has this year coming back in that Dan has a very soft spot when it comes to quarterbacks. He's not objective. He's not.
He does.
Dan wants to sprinkle roses and any walkway that quarterbacks walk through. So, I mean, this is unbelievable. Nine great quarterbacks.
So I need to see the list again. Can we put the list back up again?
Who do you want to take off?
Patrick, listen. Excuse me.
Yeah, let's look.
Let me tell you what I want to put on. Let me tell you what.
All right, here we're rocking and rolling. Now, look, this is what Dan Orlovsky, this is who he said, and this is teams you win with. You can't spell elite without these guys. Now, here they are. Josh Allen is number 1. Is this in order?
Yes.
Is it?
No, I don't know if it's in order. I don't know if it's in order.
All right, so let's say it's not in order. Here we go.
You're not going to have Patrick Mahomes.
Do you see Jared Goff's name on this list. Now I know you don't care, T, but
I do not.
No, you got Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Brock Purdy, Aaron Rodgers, Matthew Stafford, C.J. Stroud. Now the thing that jumps out the most, KG, and I'm not even a Jared Goff sympathizer or a prayer warrior.
Yeah.
I just hope he does well for the franchise, and I give him the credit that he do, nothing more, nothing less. Justin Herbert don't even have a playoff win.
He doesn't. Jared Goff got more playoff wins than a lot of people on this list.
Jared Goff been in the Super Bowl.
Exactly.
I mean, Josh Allen, I understand why he's on this list. He should be on this list, but I'm so tired
And
of
if you
freaking
have
Josh Allen.
a Brock Purdy on this list, Brock Purdy and Jared Goff are the same archetype of quarterback. Just being real. Maybe Purdy is a little more mobile than Goff is, but they are essentially the same type of guy.
Yeah, Brock Purdy's got, 2 playoff wins?
Yeah.
In 2 years?
Yeah.
2 NFC No, 3 playoff wins.
3.
Is it 3?
Because he went to the Super Bowl last year.
Yep.
He's got 3 playoff wins in 2 years. He deserves to be on this list.
No, absolutely. But I'm just saying, if you're going to put a Brock Purdy up there, then why not put Jared Goff, who has more playoff wins than a lot of people on this list?
When you see this list, I know you don't care about a list. I know you don't care about rankings. Can this team win with this quarterback? And yes, they can win with Jared Goff. But when you look at this list, out of these 9, who do you think the top 3 quarterbacks on this list are? It'd be interesting to get your take. Patrick Mahomes excluded. We know he's number 1.
All right. We're getting rid of Patrick. You know who I might take off this list? And this is going to be a shocker. For right now, Aaron Rodgers. Because I haven't seen him. I haven't seen him in a whole year.
I don't disagree.
He's been kind of flaky, and I don't know what he's going to be when he comes back.
I don't
So
disagree.
I'm going to take Aaron Rodgers off this list. Sue me if you want. But top 3, I would go with Joe Burrow.
Okay.
I would go, even though I think he's really
15-3
flawed.
is wild.
Yeah.
Hey, 15-3 is wild.
That's nuts.
Sorry.
I still got to go with Lamar Jackson, even though he's not a playoff performer.
Okay.
And Josh Allen, even though he turns the ball over too much for me.
Okay. All right. Where's C.J. Stroud fitting for you, Pete? Like, obviously, 1 year, C.J. Stroud, but it was arguably the best year a rookie quarterback has ever had. He got a playoff win against the Cleveland Browns in Houston in NRG Stadium. Do you think he deserves to be on this list now?
Yeah. Well, with
1 year.
Yes, 1 year, because of the talent that he is surrounded with. Not necessarily his talent, it's the talent that's surrounding him. And I think that...
You talking about with C.J. Stroud?
His receiving core is tremendous.
No, it is, for sure.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm talking about C.J.
I don't think it's all just the talent around him. But go ahead.
No, I'm not saying that he's not untalented, but I'm saying he should be on this list because of the talent that's around him. That he will be successful.
Yeah,
it's without a doubt. It's coming, and it's going to come quick.
All right, Hey fellas, this might be old guy talking, but I need larger sample sizes. I see you kids will see somebody play well for 6 or 8 games. So, he's arrived. This guy's good. I need to see 3-4 years. I need to see more from him.
Okay.
And you know what? He potentially could be the best of the bunch at some point, but not right now.
I agree with the second part. Let me ask you about the first part. Now, when you say you need to see more, after Patrick Mahomes played his first season, did you need to see more? No, I'm not.
No, it's a good question.
Just real. Like, did you need to see more, or were you content?
No, I need to see more because I wasn't sure what Patrick Mahomes was coming out of college. So he was still a snot-nosed kid to me.
Yeah.
So, but after that second year, I'm like, hey, this dude can play.
No, it's real.
Plus he sounds like Kermit the Frog, man. I'm not going to give you love right off the bat.
I'm here.
Kermit the Frog here.
Yeah. I'm a fan of both. Look, I played in the NFL at a time where you had to prove yourself consistently. That's why a lot of times I'm stuck on certain top Mount Rushmore lists because I'm just stuck in that. You got to show yourself. You got to prove all the time. When you tell me someone's the number 1 receiver, you got to be number 1 receiver for 2-3 years, 3-4 years. So then I'm like, if you do that for 3 years, you're the guy. Same. But sometimes, T, I'm like, when I see it, I see it. When I watch C.J. Stroud, his anticipation is something to marvel at.
Yes.
Like, he has it down. Like, when I watched Andrew Luck the first time, I was like, nah, he's like that. Patrick Mahomes, first time I saw it, I knew he was like that.
He don't look like a rookie.
Yeah, like I think for me it's the way in which they played that I was like, you know what, I can take this out of a first year. They're playing it.
But I always like to quote the great philosopher Charles Barkley.
I knew some BS was coming.
There's no such thing as a sophomore slump. That means they got film on you.
Yeah.
So now let's see, when people see C.J. Stroud, if they change things up, how does he respond? Because the way quarterback position and pitching and things, you show out your first year, and then the rest of the league says, oh, he can play. So here's what we're going to do. Now you got to adjust. So then he's got to readjust. So let's see what C.J. Stroud does this year. And I'll be all aboard then.
All right, I'm cool with it. 2 years, see what he can do. They've changed the team around a little bit.
I just want to add one thing because I hear you, but the reason why I'm heavy on Stroud is for one reason only, and that's Joe Mixon. No, that's Joe Mixon. Getting Joe Mixon into the back of that offense completely changes the whole game plan, and that's another weapon. Then he's already got a great receiving core. Joe Mixon's going to be catching a lot of balls on the backfield.
Yeah, that's gonna be tough. I agree with you there. Joe Mixon, I keep forgetting that Joe Mixon is there. You talking about a guy that can catch out of the backfield and can pretty much run the gamut at the running back position. T-Falls Detroit Lions, we talked about it a little bit yesterday. Final cuts were made, so the team is complete, including the practice squad. We went over some of those guys. What jumps out at you when you look at the Detroit Lions practice squad players?
Here's what jumps out. Normally, for the last 100 years, I look at the Lions practice squads, and it's all A, B, C, D. It doesn't mean anything to me. I looked at it this year, and I said, wait a minute. Some dudes on this practice squad is going to have to help the Lions at some point this season. And I think
I see a Pro Bowler on there if my eyes aren't mistaken.
Yeah. James Mitchell could help the Lions at some
Virginia
point.
Tech tight end, year 3.
Isaac, I don't know, Uku could help the Lions at some point. Shane Zylstra could help the Lions at some point this year. Jamar Jefferson could. That's more of a long shot.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at dudes that could probably help this team at some point this season. So these aren't just throwaway players.
Yeah, I think we've talked about it, KG. I bring it to you. The Lions have gotten to a space now where their number ones are number ones.
Yeah.
You know, their number twos are number twos. And so now when they have their practice squad guys, these are guys that can probably play on other teams. These are guys that can be maybe even a second. Shoot, Allen Robinson, I've looked at a couple wide receiver depth charts. Allen Robinson would be a better option than their 2, their 3, their 4, their 5. I think that's what you're seeing now. The team is, for lack of a better word, the team's almost completely elite.
No, absolutely. And it's just a product of what the Lions have become over the last few years. When is the last time you have ever seen a Lions practice squad that looked like that?
Never.
You have never seen that. When the Lions cut players, they were out of the league before.
Yeah.
Now they are actually cutting good players, and thankfully they were able to get some of these people back on their practice squad. But like you said, Terry, a lot of these players may contribute to the Lions, during this year, during this playoff run, depending on injuries and how things shake out. So, but I just look at it as they have come a long way in a short amount of time.
I want you to do me a favor. I want you to close your eyes.
All right.
I want you to think real hard. When was the last time you paid attention to the Lions practice squad?
Never. Never ever.
Case closed.
And that's, I don't just see, veterans on I don't just see the veterans on the practice squad. I see on-field coaches, and I think that some of the receivers, some of the fans out there are probably going to say that some of these receivers, their best days are gone, but they're not stupid. These are not stupid receivers. They have a brain, and they're going to teach. And I think that teaching the young talent, you got to remember that Amon-Ra is in year 3, Laporta's in year 2. You still have, Jahmyr Gibbs in year 2. You got Sione Vaki year 1. I think that having these on-field coaches on the practice squad is key to making a Super Bowl run. It's a beautiful practice squad.
Yeah,
it seems like Amon has been here for like 8 years.
This is not to cut you off, Pete. This is your 4.
4. Sorry. Year 4. I said years 3.
He came in with I think he came in with Aiden.
Year 4.
Yeah, he came.
Year 4. Sorry, my bad.
No big deal. No, you're perfectly good. Yeah, he has. You know why? It's because he came in as a professional. By the end of his first year, he's already starting wide receiver. He's making plays. Like he finished his rookie campaign, I think 900 catches, 900 yards, and he didn't become the starter until week 9.
Yeah.
Because Quintez Cephas was the guy.
It was.
And people forgot about him towards ACL.
We was
out
just
of
throwing
Wisconsin.
anybody together at that point.
I like Quintez Cephas in
He was
college
solid.
at Wisconsin. He was nice. But Amon-Ra stepped in from there, and he's just been the consummate pro. When you get guys that are leaders, guys that you can follow, and guys that they don't just talk a good game, they play a good game, it seems like they've been here a lot longer than they actually have. But who's the player on that practice squad that you think is going to contribute the most this season?
Isaac Ukwa.
Okay.
Whoever his name is.
Ukwu. Okay.
I think he is going to be.
That's a hell of a good pick.
Yeah.
That's a good pick.
Yeah.
And you fellas got
defensive line backup
picks.
Well, I mean, I'll go with the sexy pick of Tim Patrick. I mean, I think that
sneaky dog.
Yeah, I know. I probably stepped on your thunder there. I'm sorry, but yeah, I just because of the, in case of God help us anything happening, I think that again, you could pluck any one of those receivers, but I'll take Tim Patrick being a little bit younger, more youthful.
Here's the one name you can't have be the most important practice squad: Jake Fromm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Can't be him. If it is, you in big trouble.
If it's me,
I know who you're going to go with. I bet I do.
Go ahead.
Allen Robinson.
Nope.
All right. That's not who I was going with either, so.
Yeah, all right, cool. It's Kyle Pecco, man.
Okay.
Kyle Pecco is somebody that new defensive line coordinator Terrell Williams is very, very familiar with. Now, we had the injury to Broderick Martin that we found out about. He may miss some time. So if Broderick Martin missed some time as one of the primary reserves off the bench, Kyle Pecco is somebody that can absolutely come in and fill in that interior defensive line and make an impact. So,
yeah, you guys named some guys. I noticed you guys are going defensive line. And that's the space last year. You wish somebody could have helped Aiden Hutchinson out. If you could have helped Aiden, he would have saw less double teams, So I understand that. I'm going to actually go with Shane Zylstra. He's an individual that's already made some plays for the Detroit Lions at tight end position. We know how they covet that position. Before Sam Laporta got here, T.J. Hockenson, and even after it was a tight end by committee. They used all their tight ends. So I think Shane Zylstra, who scored some touchdowns and made some plays, I think he'll be a guy that they use from time to time. So give me Shane Zylstra.
I like that.
Nice. Good call, Brian.
I like them all. I like it.
And that's why we covered the segment. Look, let's take a quick commercial break. We'll get a good word in here from Guardian Alarm.
That's right. What happens when you see that black and yellow sign on the front of your house tells the bad guys one thing.
Stay out.
Let Guardian Alarm offer you customized solutions from real experts, 24/7 professional monitoring and technology backed by people. This technology has been proven to work, and these people have been proven to care. So call 1-800.
Stay out.
That's 1-800.
Stay out.
Call them today. Tell them Woodward Sports sent you. Also, where'd he go? Where's the great Terry Foster? Well, on game day Detroit, you're going to wake up with Woodward and Maine, your source for all the insider information on the defending NFC North champion Detroit Lions. Let me say that again. Defending NFC North champion Detroit Lions, with insight from Detroit sports media legend Terry Foster and rising star Matt Broder. Get ready, Detroit, every game day, 8 to 9 a.m., Woodward and Maine. And then you got sponsored by Sabbath Coffee and Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey. You got the Lions pregame show. Every game day, Neil Rule and Sean Belegian bring you the best Lions pregame show Sunday 10 to noon on Woodward Sports, giving you all the update to injury news, reports on fantasy, sit and starts, and Detroit Lions knowledge, delivering only as Neil and Sean can. Join us for every home game live at the second best bar in Detroit, your official guide to Lions game day on Detroit's numero uno sports network.
Number one.
Woodward Sports will be coming back.
It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola? Really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supplies has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody!
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit sports.
Oh, let me just say, I love Planet Fitness.
Trying out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Listen, the PF Black Card is worth every penny for this hydro massage. I'm a new man.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home? Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
All the benefits, all for less. Planet Fitness, big fitness energy for all.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists. Enjoy a precision haircut, hot lather neck shave, scalp and neck massage, and a hot towel treatment to top it off. Enter for your chance to win the $50,000 Perfect Bracket Challenge. With more than 25 Metro Detroit locations, there's always a Lady Jane's near you. Lady Jane's Haircut for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and WoodwardSports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Hey, how's your golf game? I don't know if it's good or bad, but I mean, you got the chance to play with legends like Darren McCarty, Kirk Gibson, maybe even Megatron, or maybe even Braylon at the desk over here. It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour. You can register today to play like a VIP, but it's almost over, man. You want to get in there, get your spot. So go to woodwardsports.com, scan that QR code that's right above my head here. And when it comes to your next car or truck, make the wise decision. It is Randy Wise Automotive. And after you leave the golf course, you know you need some fresh swag. We got you, man. woodwardsports.com has all the sports wearables you can think of. Click on that shop tab. We got hoodies, tees, hats, everything guaranteed to get you fresh and get you right for the game. Of course, September 8th, right around the corner. Boo them kids. We got that shirt too, man. So only at woodwardsports.com and click that shop tab.
Like, you know, you mentioned Megatron. It was like, or, you know, you can roll with Braylon.
Yeah, I tried to give you some love there. I'm glad you noticed.
That wasn't love. That was like second. It was like, I mean, you know, you can have the great Megatron, or, you know, you can have the scrub.
Well, I mean, let's face facts.
You can have the scrub. Damn, T. It's attack Braylon. Okay.
Yeah, but when you play golf with people,
Yep.
they're looking forward to playing with you. Do you just play? Or do you crack jokes and rub people upside the head?
First of all, I don't touch nobody's head, man.
Yeah, don't do that, man. Don't do it. Carlos Beltran status.
Look, man, I have a good time.
I
have a good time. I feel like when you play with these whoever paid for the hole, who's sponsoring the team or whatever, the guys want to have a good time. You know, so I try to, you know, be cool. I try to be personal, have some fun, crack some jokes. You got the golf dad jokes, or you got the dirty jokes, depending on what group you're in. I try to do that, but the guys
are you
are stiff.
Happy doing it? Or are you like, oh man, I got to play through. I got to play with this slug.
Nah, because I think golf relaxes individuals. Like in terms of some individuals that are square, it's kind of the place they feel most comfortable. Because you have a lot of square dudes that play golf. Like this is where they turn and this is where they get loose. This is where they have fun. So I think it eases that, and so guys can be cool and chill. And you out here hitting golf shots and killing Braylon Edwards, like it make him feel good.
Well, I'm proud of you.
Yeah. And I tried to give you love in the read. I said your name last. I normally say Megatron's name last, so I tried to help you out, bro.
You was like Megatron, or you can have this bum ass.
Okay, all right.
No, the backup.
take
The
it like
backup.
that,
Not
that's
a
on
bum
you.
ass, just the backup.
Definitely
The
not a
backup
bum.
ain't the first option.
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
He made you the number 2
I
receiver.
made you the main event.
You made him the number
Career,
2.
He definitely is the first option.
For sure. But you number 2.
Michigan State plays tonight.
Sir.
Now, I didn't want to gloss over that. Michigan State plays their first game of the year tonight against Florida Atlantic.
The John
at 7
Smith
o'clock.
era.
They're favored by 14. They're favored by 14 against Florida Atlantic, who actually has a pretty decent team. What are your expectations, T, of Jonathan Smith, not to be confused with John L. Smith?
Oh, my God.
Jonathan Smith, Michigan State, everything they went through in the last 2-3 years with the other guy that they had up there, something coming or something like that. What are your true expectations for Michigan State this year in a tough Big Ten?
My expectations for Michigan State is to become Spartan dogs again. They lost that toughness the last few years.
Yeah.
And I just thought they were just trying to play ball. And I went to a couple of the games because my son was on the homecoming court. I went to the Maryland game, and I said, they're just as good as this team that's kicking their ass. The only difference is they're turning the ball over, and they're playing soft.
Yeah.
So they got to get that edge again. They got to get that anger. And that's what I expect him to do, because I think he's a good coach. I think he's going to bring his people in, and he'll change that culture. And I've already run into a few Michigan State players during the off season, and they said the thing that Jonathan Smith does is he's trying to give them more ownership of the team. And it's not just about him, it's about the players, and they're trying to bond, and and they can add in the conversation on what they want to do on the field, which they weren't not able to do the last couple of years.
I think also what he's doing, KG, I'll let you go after this. I think he's adding disciplinary as well as stability to that program. One thing that Mel Tucker did, man, he kept it real lax. He kept it real loose. Players were doing things that they shouldn't be doing. Players were giving excuses.
The tunnel incident happened under
100%.
Mel Tucker.
Players giving excuses. Players allowed to kind of do whatever the hell they wanted. Look, they won that 11-2 year or 11-3, whatever they finished. That was K9. Like, that team was a bad team that had an amazing running back. You can even call him a great college running back for that season. He masked what that Michigan State team was. I think he's bringing back discipline and action. And you talk about giving them ownership of the team. What that does is when guys police themselves, when guys have a feeling that this is our team, like, do I want to be up at 3-4 in the morning chasing tail on a Thursday night, or do I want to be dialed into the playbook? Do I want to be partying, or do I want to miss this, or do I want to say these things? It's a piece of the team that you own now, man. Like, when you fail, it's your failure, and you see it, as opposed to the guy just letting you do what you want to do.
I don't think he was talking about, hey, you guys can just go party and hang out. I think ownership means, here's what we want to do as a team. Oh, you got something to say? Let me hear it. But let me go back with Michigan State.
I think they had that with Mel Tucker. The problem is they had too much of that.
I know, but even when Michigan State was good, going to Rose Bowls, they did stupid stuff on the field.
True.
They, it was like, oh, you had some games won, and then some people would pop off or hit somebody late or something like that. But sometimes you got to have that mentality, because that's what your culture is.
When you're getting beat in recruiting by Penn State, Ohio State, and Michigan, you got to take chances on a lot of wild childs.
Yeah.
And sometimes you can have a system in play. I give Mike D'Antonio a lot of credit. Mark, excuse me. I think his name is getting retired in the Ring of Honor against
should be.
Penn State this year. I want to say congrats to him. I mean, he was a hell of a coach. He turned that culture around. And Michigan State got a number of respect for him. But man, I keep getting lost in stuff, man. I'm having a 41-year-old day like you, man.
You having a 70-year-old
D'Antonio. You were talking D'Antonio.
I got so much in my mind.
You were talking D'Antonio and recruiting.
You're trying to do too much. KISS. Keep it simple and stupid. Go ahead.
Okay, well, you go over there. You run the show. KISS.
Okay. KISS. Michigan State, you're correct. Michigan State has to take chances on people. But the other thing is Michigan State normally has a very good first and sometimes second-string guys. But when guys get injured, that's when Michigan State traditionally has kind of fallen apart. But I think what Smith is doing with these guys is I think they do need ownership. I think they do need to feel that they're a better part of the team because they haven't had that the last few years. And yes, that does not include clownish behavior. It includes, I don't see why you wouldn't ask players, what do you see, or what can we do better in situations like this? And I think that's what they mean about more ownership for this team. And they got some guys on there who, at least the ones I run into, they kind of think straight and they seem pretty sharp. So, but I still think Michigan State get that dog mentality. And sometimes you're going to do things that guys like me perceive as stupid. But that's what wins for you.
Look, I'm pulling for Michigan State. The reason why is I hate talking to Michigan State fans because this is what they say. Oh, you guys supposed to beat us. Like, I can't wait till it gets back to the point. Like, when we lost 2 years ago, like, I hated that loss.
Yeah.
Like, and you can make all the excuses and what happened. No excuses. We lost the game. Kate and I put on a effing show.
He did.
Understand it, but that was fun. As soon as Michigan State's not in it, the rhetoric is always, well, y'all supposed to beat us. I don't want to hear that. Like, I don't want that week to roll around, and that's what I hear. So I'm pulling them to get better. Speaking of week one, best matchups. Pete threw this on here. I like it as well. Put up those best matchups in week one. College football, we keep talking about it. It is here. And here's some of those matchups. To start the season, what matchup, Pete, are you looking forward to most? You got University of Miami and Florida seems to be the big dog on the board.
Well, I tell you what, gentlemen, let's take a look at the list here one more time. I do know that our good friend Low Down with Low Brown is looking forward to Miami and Florida. We all know that. Yeah. But personally, me, on a personal note, I'll obviously be checking out Penn State because Bowling Green will be at Penn State next week. But honestly, this has got to be Georgia-Clemson, man. I'm going to check out the Georgia-Clemson game mostly for week one. What about you, Kenny?
It's two on there. Go ahead, Kay. I'm gonna write down my little. Go ahead.
Well, of course, the feature game, Miami at Florida, because Mario Cristobal, man, he got to do something. I didn't even realize that they were ranked as well.
Did you see he hired an in-game clock manager?
Yes,
they have how embarrassing is that, T? You have to hire an in-game clock manager, coach. Right. His sole job is to manage the last 4 minutes of each quarter.
Yeah, well, it's embarrassing. But, however, how many times have we seen coaches blow that? Yeah. And how many times?
I hope you, Marty Cristobal. 3 times. He did it last year. Had the game won and should have kneeled the ball down and lost on the pick.
But we look at these guys, brilliant minds. But you know, he doesn't know how to manage the clock.
Then you're not
a good coach. About, come on.
He couldn't.
Really?
Yeah, but, besides that game, of course, the Clemson-Georgia game is interesting to me because Dabo Swinney, somebody who does not want to adapt, somebody who is pretty much the last of the Mohicans in terms of, we don't use NIL. This is God's team. Like, I want to see whether he can hold up in this new NIL. Yeah, exactly. But I want to see whether he can hold up in this new NIL era. I don't think he can. But, Clemson is what it is. Dabo Swinney is one of the best coaches to ever grace that program. But I don't think that he can hold up in this new era.
Here's the dangerous thing, fellas. Yeah, he's a very good coach. But, we talked earlier about how things change. If you don't change, the game passes you by.
Adapt or die.
Is Clemson slowly being rolled by the rest of college football? And will they slowly disappear?
Clemson's about to be out of there because Dabo Swinney is a coach that's not in touch anymore. Yeah. I think he's not in touch. It's kind of like an NFL version of Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick was not in touch anymore with New England, and it was not going to work out, especially after he lost the Golden Goose. I think that's what's happening with Dabo Swinney. He's out of touch. Right. He doesn't want to change. He's mad at the money that the players are getting. Sir, newsflash, this is how you get players to your institution.
Exactly.
No more Trevor Lawrence, no more Deshaun Watson when you can win these champs. You don't have anybody because you're not going about the right way to get these players. So Dabo Swinney's program, they're rolling backwards, I think.
You might not even get a DJ Ukulele if you don't adapt.
He left.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm saying you might not even get that caliber of quarterback if you don't adapt.
Brother can't play.
Whatever.
DJ Ukulele. Stop.
Ukulele.
That brother can't play.
Ukulele.
He can't play.
No, he can't. He's on his third tour. Where is he at now? I just saw him. He was at Oregon State last year.
Yeah.
This year he's where's the ladies and gentlemen in the chat?
Northern Michigan.
I'm calling him ukulele.
He's not that far,
somewhere.
but
That was
it's not
sweet.
really any good. All right, there's one that I will
Michigan
watch,
Tech.
but
Michigan Tech.
That's where he belongs.
That's
I'd rather
tough.
be at Eastern.
Right, that's tough. Michigan Tech.
Notre Dame and Texas is a game I'm kind of keeping an eye out. Like, look, I want to see what Texas A&M, all that oil money, all that they're spending in NIL and purchasing players. I want to see what it looks like. Notre Dame, Marcus Freeman, he's won 11 games 2 of the 3 years he's been there, so I want to see what he does this year. But the game for me is LSU, USC.
Yes, sir.
He's at Florida State.
Florida State, okay, that's where he is now. That's not bad. That's an upgrade. And guess what happened first game of the year? They got popped by G-Tech.
Exactly. 10.5-point favorites.
Yeah, I called that game Friday.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Should we roll?
But USC, LSU. I was listening to Nick Saban. LSU is a team that has the best talent in the country every year. They just can't put it together. Nick Saban already said this is the team he'd be watching out for. I like LSU, Brian Kelly in year 3. Yeah, this
Family.
is year 3 for him. The family. He lost that accent. But also, it's USC. Who is USC? No more Caleb Williams. Michigan plays them this year. They're in the Big Ten. I think LSU, USC is the game I want to see.
Ooh,
All right, I'm going to bring up my flaw. I like hatred. So to me, it's Miami and Florida.
Okay.
I know they hate each other.
Yeah.
You can join Lomas Brown, man.
I like that little edge.
Yeah.
And it may not be the best matchup, but
They don't like each other.
Yeah.
Lomas said that to us at Detroit Golf Club, man. He's looking forward to that matchup. That's his game. He said, you know,
Hurricanes.
I love Lomas. I love Lomas. Lomas is. I love that man.
Big Long.
I love that man.
Yeah. So
Come on, T-Funk.
You want to take a break
don't
there?
do me like that.
You know how he tell you, come on,
Right.
Bray. You know you my guy. Hey, and I'm gonna tell you something. The big fella.
Yes,
That's his line.
That was
you know
perfect,
the big
Bray.
fella.
Even those 5'3" corners that were guarding you, man, they're the big fellas.
Oh, big! You talking about big fella over there? We'll get one more commercial break. We'll get a message in from Swiss, and then we'll call this.
And Kenny G, you can follow me if you would, please, sir.
Sure,
You got it, my
absolutely.
friend. But we'll do Swiss first. Right now, more than ever, it is critical for you to have your insurance reviewed. And Swiss Insurance will make sure that your carrier is not slipping in those extra fees. Call Mark at Swiss Insurance today. Pause. 313-530-1698. Or head to SwissINS.com. Kenny, postgame.
Hey, the post-game show, the best Lions coverage in the city and the state. Prove me wrong. I know you can't, man. It's the watch party with the heavyweights live from Hayes Social every game week at Hayes Social in Shelby Township. You can tune in to the guys. They're going to have live reactions. You know they're going to be going crazy, man. I love Spinny. I love Easy, man. Watch his Jared Goff takes, though. Every game for the Lions season. And then after that, you can catch Stick and Anson for the post-game show, man. You get their first reactions and maybe overreactions to everything that happened during the Lions game and everything upcoming on the Lions schedule. And if you want to call in, you can do that. If you want to come up to Hayes Social and be a part of the show, you can do that as well. Both of these great events are sponsored by Sabbath Coffee, and they will be on Detroit's #1 sports network.
What's with that?
That is Woodward Sports, man.
It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
So just to get the heated steering wheel, I also had the spring for the bigger rims.
Yeah, that's how they get you. Those upgrades will cost you an arm and a leg every time.
Hey, new car crew, how'd it go this weekend? I got a great deal on mine.
How?
I went to Randy Wise, not those other guys. They got me in a great new ride, and they didn't break my budget. Hey, could you pass me the sugar?
How?
Never mind.
He made the wise choice.
Yep.
Make the wise choice at RandyWiseChevy.com.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
Oh, let me just say, I love Planet Fitness.
Try out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Listen, the PF Black Card is worth every penny for this hydro massage. I'm a new man.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home? Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
All the benefits, all for less. Planet Fitness, big fitness energy for all.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists. Enjoy a precision haircut, hot lather neck shave, scalp and neck massage, and a hot towel treatment to top it off. Enter for your chance to win the $50,000 Perfect Bracket Challenge. With more than 25 Metro Detroit locations, there's always a Lady Jane's near you. Lady Jane's Haircut for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
The countdown to kickoff is here. Your Detroit Lions are ready for another season of grit. Woodward Sports is your #1 destination for all breaking news and Lions coverage. We are Detroit's #1 sports network. We are Woodward Sports.
Hey, let me talk to you real quick, man. Let's get personal, man. I know you might be dealing with divorce, child custody, visitation, or family law issues. But guess what? There is hope. Kevin and Catherine at KDK Law in Birmingham will have your back! Exclamation point. 10 years plus of experience and 24/7 availability. Scan the QR code above the screen or call the number 248-971-0476. Say Woodward Sports sent you and KDK will pay your filing fee, guys. Come on, don't let her do it to you. KDK Law, they got your back.
Yeah, you bring up a good point, T-Foss. Welcome back in. Ermanni was with Maz, neither Ryan or Maz with us today. But my man T-Foss came in and he came in with thunder talking about Michigan and everything else. But great show out of you. What's been going on with these tornado-like, I guess, what's the word I'm looking for?
Winds?
Nah, not winds, but yes, pretty much. Like the wind, we had a whole tornado almost last week, didn't we?
Yeah, I know. We've had these little. And they're not big storms, they're powerful storms.
Knocked out power still out on Telegraph.
Yeah, we were one of the 356,000 people without power. But we've
sorry for you.
There's been sometimes I've talked to friends who live 5 or 6 miles away, and they're like, "Damn, how you surviving this storm?" I'm like, "What storm? We don't have a storm."
Yeah.
So I mean, but they're small but powerful. We had that one storm, and my wife, I had to yell at her. It was blowing our umbrella, through the yard. I said, "Girl, come back in here," because she's chasing the stupid elevator.
Get your crazy self.
Yeah, umbrella. And I said, "Girl, it's okay. It's not going to go far." So she came in. You know what happened a few seconds later?
No.
Big lightning strike.
A tree 2 houses away got struck by lightning. I said, "Girl, that could have been you." So I mean, there were some crazy storms, man.
Yeah.
Did you have power in this house? Were you good?
Surprisingly, yes, because I stay in Detroit. In the area of Detroit I stay in, every storm like this always knocks out the power. We constantly have DTE out there, but surprisingly during this storm, we were good. It seems like maybe more of the suburbs got hit this time around, man. But yeah, I don't know what it is. I mean, it is kind of hurricane season. You are seeing some of these storms breach into Michigan, but yeah, it's tough out there, man. I hope people got power by now. I mean, it's been 3 or 4 days. So.
Yeah, we've been keeping power, and I'm on the edge of Detroit and Grosse Pointe Park, so we've been lucky and fortunate. So far so good, but I gotta keep my gambling going, Bray. I can't lose power right now, man. I'm on fire.
Keep that train rolling.
This is true, man. I'm gonna keep my money in my pocket, man. You know what I'm saying? That's the best place for it. It's right here. In my pocket. I can access it at any time. I lose it, then I don't have it. But
you see, I keep saying I'm gonna do this, but I haven't done it. Y'all have a generator?
I do.
Yeah, I don't.
I do.
Of course you have a generator.
It was an interesting $30K to spend until
it's $30K for a generator.
For my house though.
Yeah, big up.
Because you're doing the whole house.
But generators are expensive, in general.
Yeah, a smaller one is still like $7 grand.
Yeah, absolutely.
$7-8 grand. Yeah,
you got to finance that.
Square
well,
footage.
I guess that's why I haven't done it then.
But I'm telling you though, like when they first said it, I was like, why am I spending $30K on a generator?
You don't need it till you need it.
2017, 18. That's when all these blackouts really started happening with DT, especially on West Bloomfield on our side. Start seeing them and it clicks on right away. Like as soon as you hear click, clicks right back on. So It's insurance. Like, you hate paying for insurance, but when you need that insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when the power comes back, does it click right off, or do you have to do something?
No, it starts up. Everything starts back up. The TV starts back up. Whatever was on starts back up.
No, I mean, when the power comes back on, does the generator shut off?
It shuts off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, when it's needed.
All right. Let me think about it. That's a lot of money.
It's a great investment.
But you don't necessarily need that, though. What's the square footage of your home? If you own
2,700.
2,700? Yeah, you probably spend 8.
Yeah, on a good one.
About 8 to 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't need it till you do.
Let me talk to the my honey bun.
We need to get somebody on here. We need to get a sponsor that sells generators. That way we can get you one for free.
Seriously, yeah. Generac,
right. Sports is the place.
All right, Generac, where you at, man?
100%.
Right. Somebody.
Big plans for the weekend before we go?
I'm doing something where I might lose my black card.
Oh, wow.
Man.
Tonight.
What?
Yeah.
Do tell.
I'm going to the Alice Cooper concert tonight at Pine
My
Knob.
goodness.
Nah, you're not gonna lose your black card for that. But don't tell everybody.
Right, please.
I just told everybody.
Right.
This is true, but I guarantee you some Alice Cooper fans out there though biting head off chickens and things.
Yeah,
you going with the wife? Or?
I'm dragging my wife, and she doesn't want to go. I
ain't
know
mad
she
at her.
doesn't want to go.
Yeah.
But I got into them when I was a house painter, and they had a rotation of albums they used to play. Most of it was Earth, Wind and Fire and Kool and the Gang and stuff like that. But the one album that was kind of weird was Billion Dollar Babies by Alice Cooper. So I just kind of got into it and been listening to his music. And I've always said I want to go see him play one time. But he's old now, so this might be the last time. So I'm going to see Alice Cooper at Pine Knob.
Hey, shout out Pine Knob / DT. That was my era. It was DT. Hey, Saturday, me and the wife will be probably going out to Lansing. One of her friends stays out there, so we'll be going out here to visit her. And then Sunday, I believe I have a fantasy draft with one of my homeboys. Shout out Marcus. So yeah, I think that's the weekend right there. And then Monday, not a damn thing.
Pete, you know you next up, bro. What is the weekend entailing for you?
Oh, guys, I'm a bachelor. I am probably going to be out of commission starting about 7 o'clock tonight because I'll probably have something to drink and something to smoke. And then that'll probably last all weekend long.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll just be gambling and playing video games and just a guy being a guy.
I wish you happy winnings over there,
Thank you, my friend.
Yes.
Win big. I am claiming, I am throwing it out there in the universe, and I'm throwing it out in the universe for all of you listening to Ermanni and Edwards.
You know what I didn't hear?
I
didn't hear anybody say they're going to barbecue. Is that just
on Sunday? I am
barbecue for sure.
I'll be still in somebody's
happening.
barbecue.
Barbecue will happen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
we'll
I don't have a
putting
grill,
on
but I'll be
Sunday.
still in somebody's barbecue.
So
sure.
all my fellow workers out there, employees, I want you to do yourself a favor. Enjoy your Labor Day weekend, man. We appreciate you here at Woodward Sports Network. Tune in on Tuesday, because Monday, as Pete told me, it will be the best of Ermanni and Edwards and every other show on Woodward Sports Network. So see you guys Tuesday, man. Appreciate you.
Be
Go
good.
Luke!